The arena fell silent, but backstage a storm was brewing. Seth Rollins, the architect, sat alone, shoulder-taped and battered, watching Paul Heyman mock him on live Raw. Every laugh, every taunt, every cruel mimic of his injury cut deeper than any physical strike ever could. Fans saw a champion stripped of glory, but behind the scenes they glimpsed a man calculating his comeback, fueled by betrayal and humiliation. This wasn't just a reaction, it was the beginning of a reckoning. Rollins' eyes burned with controlled rage, a fire that would not be doused by mockery or setbacks. The WWE Universe was about to witness a transformation as the fallen visionary prepared to reclaim his legacy, not just in the ring, but in spirit and fury. Heyman's public mockery and its impact on Raw, Paul Heyman delivers a venomous promo while Breakker and Reed imitate Rollins' injury and persona. The crowd's reaction, a mix of boos and disbelief, amplifies the cruelty. Heyman's mockery serves a dual purpose. It positions him as the dominant antagonist and publicly humiliates Rollins, questioning his legitimacy and authority. The segment is more than a storyline beat. It reflects real backstage power dynamics and establishes the stakes. Rollins' jaw tightens, eyes burning with suppressed rage, highlighting his inner struggle. By showing the psychological toll, the audience connects emotionally with him. Heyman's lines, calling Rollins a fallen visionary, a ghost and a failed leader, aren't mere theatrics. They trigger a deep narrative conflict. This moment elevates the story from a standard feud to an emotionally resonant battle over respect, identity, and creative control within WWE. The silent fury of the architect backstage, Rollins watches the chaos unfold in silence. He replays Heyman's words and processes the mockery, demonstrating a man building a plan rather than acting on impulse. His whispered declaration, "I don't break, I rebuild," reveals the mindset that drives his eventual retaliation. This segment humanizes him as a character who transforms humiliation into strategy. He is no longer just a competitor. He becomes an architect of his revenge. The camera work, close-ups, dim lighting, and slow motion emphasizes the psychological intensity, letting viewers feel his suppressed rage. Rollins' silence contrasts with Heyman's theatrics, showing the power of internalized anger. This emotional depth establishes empathy with fans and strengthens the narrative, creating anticipation for a comeback that feels both inevitable and personal, rooted in betrayal and moral vindication. The social media explosion. Once the video of Rollins' backstage stare hits social media, chaos erupts online. Fans immediately interpret the imagery, dubbing him the Watcher, a darker, more calculating version of himself. The script cleverly integrates fan interaction and speculation as part of the storyline. Viral clips, hashtags, and theories amplify the suspense, turning the audience into active participants in Rollins' journey. This also reflects how WWE storylines intersect with real-world engagement, making fans feel part of the arc. By creating a sense of mystery and anticipation, the narrative leverages modern media to deepen the emotional investment. The viral moment transforms Rollins from a sideline superstar to a looming threat, ensuring that every viewer feels the weight of his impending return. The evolution of the Vision. Heyman hijacks the Vision concept, turning Rollins' original movement into a weapon of dominance. Rollins' response is to reclaim it, not for glory, but to burn the corrupted version down. The storyline reframes the Vision as more than a faction or gimmick. It becomes a metaphor for Rollins' personal journey. Injury, betrayal, and mockery shape him into a more formidable figure, someone whose return is as much ideological as physical. This evolution resonates because it reflects resilience, how setbacks fuel transformation. WWE fans witness a protagonist overcoming adversity while retaining his core identity. Rollins isn't merely attacking opponents, he's reclaiming a movement stolen from him, making his feud with Heyman and the Enforcers deeply personal and narratively compelling. Strategic strikes and calculated chaos. Rollins' attacks on Breakker and Reed after his return are precise, not chaotic. He targets their weaknesses, dismantling Heyman's empire piece by piece. These actions showcase the intelligence behind his aggression. Revenge is a methodical art. Each strike is symbolic, demonstrating that Rollins is not the same impulsive figure he once was. This phase of the story emphasizes the rebirth of the architect, measured, relentless, and cunning. By showing calculated assaults, the narrative portrays him as a strategist as well as a fighter. Fans connect with his meticulous approach, understanding that his vengeance is not just physical, but psychological, designed to destabilize the faction that humiliated him. It reinforces his evolution and the depth of his character arc. Roman Reigns' teased alliance. Hints of Roman Reigns aligning with Rollins inject tension and anticipation. Their potential collaboration, two former dominant figures wronged by the same antagonist, promises poetic justice. Fan theories and subtle social media cues build suspense, creating speculation about Survivor Series matchups. This alliance adds layers. Roman's presence could either reinforce Rollins or create new conflicts. From a narrative perspective, it expands the story's scope, linking multiple WWE storylines while maintaining focus on Rollins' personal vendetta. The teaser aligns with fans' desire for unpredictable, high-stakes moments while also emphasizing that Rollins' fight isn't solitary. It's about reclaiming legacy and authority with or without allies. The climactic return. When Rollins finally steps into the arena, the moment is cinematic. The lighting, crowd reaction, and camera angles highlight his rebirth. His declaration, "You can't finish the vision without me," cements his transformation. This scene merges story, emotion, and spectacle, reminding fans why Rollins is a top-tier performer. Every visual and verbal cue signals dominance and purpose, showing he isn't returning to participate. He's returning to redefine the landscape. WWE capitalizes on anticipation, social media engagement, and narrative build-up, making the payoff emotionally satisfying. Rollins' presence is more than physical, it's symbolic, demonstrating endurance, strategy, and reclaiming of personal and creative identity. Survivor Series and the War for Legacy. The story arcs towards Survivor Series, where Rollins and potential allies face Heyman, Breakker, and Reed. This storyline elevates beyond a typical feud. It's about identity, legacy, and justice. Rollins' methodical dismantling of Heyman's empire, combined with hints of Roman Reigns' involvement, builds a high-stakes narrative. Fans anticipate alliances, betrayals, and a reshaping of WWE's hierarchy. The setup ensures the eventual clash is emotionally charged and visually spectacular. WWE uses this arc to deliver long-term storytelling, balancing personal vendetta with faction warfare, and providing a platform for Rollins to showcase evolution in both character and in-ring strategy. The Architect's redemption and rebirth. The arc concludes with Rollins' philosophical reflection. He rebuilds from destruction. The vision isn't merely restored, it's refined, darker, and more formidable. Roman's presence underscores that legacies aren't solitary. Alliances shape history. Rollins' story becomes a symbol of resilience, strategic thinking, and identity reclamation. Fans leave with a sense of closure, yet anticipation, knowing the narrative continues to evolve. His return is not just a comeback. It's a rebirth of a character, a faction, and a philosophy. This climax humanizes Rollins while delivering cinematic spectacle, emotional resonance, and compelling long-term storytelling, highlighting why he remains one of WWE's most